Fruka is a Japanese-owned beverage company operating in Australasia. Mainly known for its energy drink B, Fruka aimed to introduce a new sports drink into the market in 2012, called Maximus. Maximus, the new sports drink, was launched in Australia, where the category was dominated mainly by two large brands, Powerade and Gatorade. Their number one objective was to increase brand awareness. By introducing a new product into the market, it was essential to introduce many people and new users to the product and basically get their product known throughout Australia. More statistical objectives included that in 2013 it was aimed to control 5% of the share of sports drinks, following an aimed increase of share to 10% in 2014. Additionally, in 2014, Fruka aimed to double their numbers of drinkers, from 100,000 drinkers in 2013 to 200,000 drinkers in 2014. Their goal was to sell 7.5 million drinks over 2 years. That's a 10% share of the category. This involved showing retailers Fruka was serious about Maximus in order to be stocked in specific stores. They were also aimed to create a 26% brand awareness, and their goal was to have 1 million people try the drink. The main challenge faced by Fruka was entering the sports drink market. Not just being a new product within a specific market, but entering a market of a duopoly. The fierce competition within two brands competing against each other, controlling 98% of the share of the category, would be a tough market to enter. Maximus had an investment of $1 million, but how were they able to make it feel like $10 million? They needed to show retailers that they were serious. For their first form of publicity, Fruka worked with creatives to develop a 6-part TV show named Maximus Academy. Working alongside media planners, the decision was to air the show on Fox Sports. This choice of platform allowed new users to be exposed to the beverage and allowed brand awareness to increase. Fox Sports was a great decision of media coverage as it is a heavily male-dominated platform, suiting the specific target of males aged 16 to 44. Following on from this, media planners identified that outdoor media was the primary channel to drive awareness with males aged 16 to 44 years. With this in mind, creative played on the idea to go big, and this focus was mimicked in their billboards, with the Maximus bottle being literally too big for the billboard. This spoke to the target audience and furthered the need for the brand to be recognised, as it was directly speaking to every man who essentially wanted more size. Additionally, media planners decided to take charge of social media, and in collaboration with the creatives, Social Athlete was created. With a budget of only $250,000, it was vital for the Social Athlete to get as much exposure as possible. This was a suitable platform for the aimed audience, as according to the Census Social Media Report in 2015, those below the age of 40 are the most prevalent users of social media. With different types of publicity and advertising in play, Fruka now aimed to reach retailers on a new level, as they now considered Maximus as a serious product. Through the creative idea of implementing a tape measure around the bottle, consumers were able to prove that they could go big, and in cooperation with media planners, it was decided to be posted on social media with the addition of the hashtag #ICanHandleIt. Through the use of extensive social publicity, the objective of increasing brand awareness was now supported. The creative strategy was hugely successful due to different specific factors. In our Week 3 lectures, we were taught the steps in developing an effective communication. The creative team working for Fruka stuck to strict steps in developing an effective communication. The first step is to identify the target audience. This includes factors such as demographic, psychographic, behaviour, and geographic factors. Fruka concluded that the ideal target audience was males aged between 16 to 44 years who lived in Australia. They were considered as the young Aussie bloke who had an active, busy life and essentially were not obsessed with working out. The second step is to determine a message. This included what to say and how to say it. It was decided that Maximus's message was essentially to go big. It was intended for the audience to feel that this drink was for the average Aussie bloke and that he could handle anything. The third step is to choose the media. This involves where to say the message. This is where the media planners and buyers come into the picture. Their roles were to identify which media platform would best advertise Maximus's message. With research, multiple platforms were chosen for the various advertisements. This included billboards and social media. The fourth step is to choose the message source. In addition to billboards being used in social media campaigns, it was decided to incorporate Fitzy and Whipper to Nova to do giveaways. With the specific market of men aged 16 to 44 years, Nova was one of the dominating radio channels listened by this market, making it an ideal platform to reach out to the audience. The final and fifth step of the planning process is to collect feedback. In order to develop an effective communication, it is vital to collect feedback. This allows the client to measure if progress has been made and if desired objectives were reached. Fruka analysed feedback and growth at the end of 2011 and found that their campaign was hugely successful in achieving all set goals. Before you can choose a media, there is a stern planning process which must be followed when determining a message. Maximus was successful in reaching their objectives as they followed each step of the planning process. The first step of the process is challenge. The creatives were able to have a clear clarification of their clients' objectives. This was essentially to build Maximus's brand and increase brand awareness, as well as luring competitive users as well as new users into the market. The second step is insight. The creators were able to understand Maximus and their needs. This included to once again build brand awareness, and their need was to enter the sports drink category. The third step of the process is idea. Once the task and customer is understood, the creators were able to be inspired and informed to create an idea. Once creatives gathered all specific information, they were able to come up with their billboard execution as well as their social media campaigns. The fourth step is execution. Your idea and insights will inform the best form of execution. This is where the creatives of Maximus incorporate with media planners to decide the most suitable platform for their executions, which will best target their market. The fifth and final step of the process is results. Results of previous campaigns should always be considered and applied to the next one. Learnings are critical. As Maximus was a new product, there was no past campaigns to benchmark against. Instead, they would simply record the results from this present campaign to compare to following campaigns in the future. According to the FCB grid, Maximus falls under emotional low involvement. This characterises the product as self-satisfaction with the do, feel, learn model. The creatives are aiming to gain attention and produce impulse purchase for the brand Maximus. The media strategy was highly successful. To be successful through the media, it comes down to understanding your target audience and their specific needs and wants. Essentially, the media planner for Maximus identified the platforms that would best communicate to males aged between 16 and 44 years. Learned in our Week 3 lecture, certain integrated marketing communication tools, IMC, were used in the promotion of Maximus. One tool that was used was advertising. This was clearly integrated with the use of billboards and social media. Public relations is another IMC tool used. Public relations was incorporated within the campaigns, especially with the use of Fitzy and Whipper from Nova, as well as the hashtag #ICanHandleIt. Another IMC tool is packaging. There was an addition to the packaging of Maximus with the use of a tape measure being added to the label. This engaged the target audience and also linked to a clever social media campaign. Point of sale is an obvious IMC tool used for the Maximus brand, which integrated the use of various retailers stocking the product. Overall, the campaign was a huge success. With either reaching their set objective or exceeding it, the introduction of Maximus into the duopoly market of sports drinks was highly successful. Their brand awareness was increased significantly, with over 750,000 drinkers in 2014, compared to their objective of gaining 200,000 drinkers. However, in order to become more successful, I believe a couple more IMC tools could have been implemented. Being a new product into a market and aiming to gain new users and increase brand awareness, I feel as though sales promotion could have been highly effective. Examples such as specifically designed deals and perhaps packages for newly loyal customers would have been advantageous for Maximus in increasing their brand awareness and gaining new users.